Hello and welcome back to my RC channel. I'm AndyRC and today I'm going to show you how to bind the QX80 or the QX90 to the FlySky control system. Now you'll notice that you can buy this in a BNF, which is bind and fly, for DSM2, FreeSky and now FlySky, and I think this is a really good move by Banggood because everyone has got these FlySky transmitters when they've bought their first RTF quadcopter. I think this one came with the Florian 250 Racer. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is to select a new model because of course this was set up for the Florian, so I'm going to switch it on first of all, and then if you hold down the OK button and go into system and model select, and then you can change it to the next model. I've just changed it along to model 2, and then to save that model you have to long press the cancel. I never understood that with the FlySky system, but now we are in Model 2 there. So if you have the QX80 version, then you have to build it up. Well, at least I did. Anyway, I'm not going to do a full build for this video. I have already done a build for the QX80, so I'll put that in the description. The only difference is you will be putting a different receiver on, and I'm going to show you how to solder this receiver to the flight controller. However, if you have a QX90 that's already built, you can skip this bit and go straight to the binding part. So the first thing to do is to tin these solder pads on the receiver. This is for the PPM signal wire, this is for the positive voltage wire, and this is for the ground. Now you're given three very thin wires to work with. This is the ground cable going in, and next is the positive voltage. There's no need to tin these wires up, they're so thin. And this is the signal wire. Next I'm using the provided heat shrink on the receiver. Make sure you leave the ports at the bottom free for binding. Now I'm going to tin the solder pads on the receiver. That is the ground wire. This is the positive voltage wire, and lastly is the signal wire. I have bridged one of them, so I just need to dab the iron on it to tidy it up. Next, I'm going to solder in the ground cable. There's no need to tin these again. The wires are really thin. They will just solder in. This is the positive voltage wire, and this is the signal wire going in. The next thing I'm going to do is cut a length of double-sided sticky foam provided in the kit, and I'm going to secure the receiver in like so. So they recommend that you use a pair of tweezers to short the bind pin and the ground pin on the receiver. However, I'm lazy and I take a spare bit of solder and I just short them together like this, and it's really easy. So the next thing to do is to plug the battery in, and you'll see the light on the receiver flash really quickly. The next thing we need to do is to take the transmitter and turn it on. Now the instructions say that you need to turn on mode AFHDS. However, that's not true. You need to turn it off. So if you go into system and scroll down to the RX setup and go into that setting, you can use the up and down button to switch it off and then long press cancel, and that will turn that mode off. So now you can turn the transmitter off, and then we hold the bind button down on the transmitter and then turn it on, and you'll see the light on the receiver go solid. So we can unplug the battery now and then desolder that short, and the next time we turn the transmitter on and plug the battery in, the receiver will continuously flash, which is quite strange, but that shows that it is bound to the transmitter. So something that you're going to want to do next is set up these switches here, because usually out of the box the auxiliary channels are set up to these dials here. Now we don't want these dials for our different flight modes and arming switch, so we need to change them. Now this is a 6-channel transmitter, but you don't have the option of using these and these. It's either one of these and one of these, or one of these or one of those, etc. So any two selections of these switches. So to change that, you hold down the menu button and then go into setup and then scroll down to auxiliary channels, and here you can see I have changed mine to switch C and switch D, which are these two. The way that you change it is these up and down buttons here, and then to change between the two it's that OK button. Once you are done, you have to long press cancel to save the changes, and that is it. So here we are in clean flight. I've got the quadcopter plugged into the computer via its USB port. Luckily, the receiver also powers when using the USB lead through the computer. So I have got the transmitter turned on as well. Now I'm in clean flight here, but if you are interested in flashing Betaflight, then check out my QX80 build video in the description, and that details how to flash Betaflight to it. But I'm just going to show you how to get the FlySky system working here. So we've got COM4 showing up the top. I'm going to connect to it. And the first thing you'll need to do is go into ports and make sure that the serial RX is switched on the UART2. Then under configuration, we need to change the receiver mode. It's usually RX serial from standard, but we need to change that to RX PPM for PPM RX input. Now, I'm not going to go through any of these settings here. Again, check out my QX80 build for that. I'm just showing you how to get FlySky connected here. So I'm going to do save and reboot. And that should reconnect. And now if we go on to the receiver tab, I should be able to move these sticks and I'm getting a signal. However, it's usually set up as TAER from stock, so I'm going to go in there and change that to Futaba, which is AETR. So that's aileron, elevator, throttle, rudder, and then your 1, 2, 3, 4 auxiliaries. So if I press save there, now you will see I can go throttle, and that is correct. And roll is correct, pitch, and then I've got my auxiliaries, so that's the 2-position switch, and then that's the 3-position switch. So going into modes there, and it's just got ARM on auxiliary 1. Right, that is set up wrong, so on this I'm going to change that to auxiliary 2. And then we've just got angle mode installed here, but of course we want all 3 of them. So angle is just going to be on this position here, and on the 2nd position there, and 3rd position acro, and of course save that too. And there you go, that is how you bind and set up the FlySky system with the QX80 and QX90.
Step on the land, I've got your hand, and now we're way down, fade out low. Was it your plan? Can't understand. I love the air you bring, everything. Under the sun, a fire is burning. You tell me to hold on tight. I wish that we could stay here forever. I wanna remember. Oh, the sight of you brings the fight in me, makes me wanna move. Fingers down your spine, looking in my eyes, feel your hands on mine. Tonight we're freer than ever. I wanna remember. Oh, we run every endeavor. I wanna remember. Step on the land, I've got your hand, and now we're